Hey everybody, this is Pete from the Transportation Department, and it's time for some winter weather driving tips. First thing you want to do is make sure you check your car over and make sure your tires have some tread on them. They should have 30 seconds worth of tread all the way around the tire. That way you have traction. You also want to make sure you check your windshield wipers and make sure that they're working and operable and they're not worn out. Make sure you replace those because you're going to need them with the ice and snow and rain. And make sure that you have topped off your coolant because that helps keep the radiator from freezing. Don't just use water in your radiator because that could freeze up if it gets really cold and mess up your car. Make sure that you have in your car a flashlight with batteries in case you break down, a blanket, an ice scraper, jumper cables, and a blanket just in case if you're going on a far trip. You might want to make sure you have some blankets in case the car has an incident, or like what happened recently on I-95, accident shut the highway down and people were stuck and they couldn't get off the interstate. Make sure you're planning your route. Stay on the beaten path. Don't go through the woods or some area that you've never been before for a shortcut. Stay on roads that you're familiar with and that are main drags. That way you don't have to worry about running into black ice or poor road conditions. If you don't have to go out, don't. Just stay home, okay? If you feel uncomfortable, you can always delay your trip for a few hours. Make sure you can let the warmth of the day warm up before you leave and that there's less traffic. You want to slow down when driving. You want to make sure you have plenty of room between you and the car in front and behind. In case you have to make a stop, you might hit ice and you want to make sure you have plenty of stopping distance. And that should do it. So stay dry out there and stay warm and take care.
My name is Jimena and I put the new and new hire orientation. I'll be taking over hopefully later than soon. Thank you, Brooke, for this muffin. Thank you for welcoming me, for your patience, and I'm excited to learn and to contribute to the team.
Hey, this is Maria Aranda, part of the I Am Raw committee. And in this quarter, we're going to focus on our vision and the value of you. Our vision, to make the lives touched by a company better by providing a product that's beneficial to life, a culture that strengthens individuals, and an organization that supports a community.
Good afternoon, team. You may have noticed a cleaner, more organized S-Drive recently. That is because a dedicated group of team members have put great effort into cleaning and organizing the S-Drive. In an effort to keep the S-Drive neat and organized, we ask that team members follow the following guidelines when saving documents and files. Common uses for the shared drive can include projects, events, or files with multiple people or groups or departments needing access to them. When creating a folder in the S-Drive, please make sure it is a situation with a group of people and not personal content and is of interest to a specific team or group. Please do not use the shared drive for storing personal files, temporary files, or editing or printing, or just your daily easy access to files that never get deleted. Each department should have their own folder on the shared drive. If you need a folder created for your department, please send a help desk ticket to the IT department. Thank you for help keeping our shared drive neat and organized, and have a great day.
Hey everybody, this is Josh Hall in the Field Operations Department. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about our granular fertilizer and how we apply that fertilizer. First off, the actual fertilizer, it's again, it's granular type, so it's small pebbles, dry pebbles. Probably closest thing I can think of that it looks like is Dippin' Dots maybe. So looks similar to that, just very small pebbles that get put out onto our crops. We either spin spread or broadcast that fertilizer, or we can side dress or put it right beside the plant. So we're going to look at two of the different pieces of equipment that we put that fertilizer out with. So right here in front of us is what we use to side dress apply our fertilizer. So first off, just looking, we'll kind of focus in on a couple rows here. First at the top, we've got these bins that hold our fertilizer. So fertilizer will be put into these bins. From these bins, they, as we drive the tractor, the fertilizer will go down these tubes, and then as you can see, these tubes will drop directly onto the ground, and then behind we will incorporate that fertilizer a little bit into the soil. Basically where this crack is in the concrete is where that plant, that collared kale plant, is going to be growing. So as you can see, we're on either side of the plant is where we're applying that fertilizer. You can see that other drop right there where the fertilizer comes out, again on both sides of the plant. So again, that's how we put out the fertilizer in what we call side dressing the fertilizer. And we'll walk over here and look at a spreader, which is what we use to broadcast the fertilizer. All right guys, here is the other way in which we apply that granular fertilizer. This is what we call a spreader. It's a 5-ton spreader. It's basically a large hopper or bin that holds all the fertilizer. If we walk around here to the back, we can see that down the middle of this bin is a belt. That belt conveys backwards to the back of the spreader. All this fertilizer is going to dump down through here onto these two large discs that will be spinning pretty rapidly, and that will spread the fertilizer to either side of the implement, and that is how we spin spread our granular fertilizer.